Today's episode is about the topic of next level calling and purpose.
Hello and welcome to the Successful, Sensitive and Intuitive Entrepreneur podcast. My name is Lydia Sophia Wilmsen and I am an intuitive success mentor for sensitive entrepreneurs. In this podcast, I speak about the challenges sensitive and intuitive entrepreneurs face. I offer you new perspectives and solutions, as well as experiences of other entrepreneurs. Plus, I speak about my personal experience of being a highly sensitive person who has successfully built and scaled 2 businesses. All of that with the goal to make you and your business even more successful in your very unique and authentic way. Have fun and enjoy.
Several of my lovely podcast listeners mentioned this question to me, and it's super funny because today, when I'm recording this episode for you, it's my birthday. And that means a new year, new potential. And if you're interested in numerology, there are different personal years. And I'm actually going into a 1 personal year. And that means new beginnings, new adventures, new ideas, next level. So I'm fully on topic today. It's super funny. Okay, so next level calling and purpose. I remember people reaching out to me, and there are basically 2 different scenarios what they come up with. And yeah, you can see if something fits you, like if you're on the verge to your next level, if some of those, or if one of those 2 scenarios is actually what you find yourself in. So some of the people, they know that they are staying below their potential. They know that what they are currently doing in their business is not exciting anymore, or not enough, or not exciting enough anymore. It feels not fully aligned anymore. And there is this feeling of something is missing. There is some more out there, but they are not quite sure what it is. They don't have clarity around what actually is that. What is calling me? Like, what is the next level? They only know they are not fully satisfied with where they are, and they have no clear idea where they are headed, what the next level is. And it might either be a next level in their business, or introducing a different area in business, or shifting in something totally different. So they are not really satisfied anymore with where they are. They could either start a totally new business adventure, or go into the next level in their own business, or basically introduce a different area in their business. So some of my clients go into speaking. So they have their own business, and now they started a speaking business on the side, but with the same topic of what they worked in their other business in. The other scenario is that they are caught up, or other people are caught up in 2 or even more business endeavors. So they know they have to commit to want to keep reaching their next level. They can't put the same level of energy into 2 or even 3 businesses. And for them, it is that either they can't figure out which one it is, which one they want to focus on, or they should focus on, or they know it and they just can't make the jump. They can't make the shift. Because giving something up is freaking scary. I have been there. For me, it was that I was caught up between taking over the art family business and my own coaching business. I had built them both for 5 years, and then it took me 2 years. Really, it took me 2 years. The process took me 2 years to make the decision and jump fully into my own business. And for other people, it might be, or it happens for them, that they are employed still and they have their business. And now comes this decision. Do I stay employed, or do I go fully into my own business? Fully committing to one business and making the scary decision to let the other employment or business go. And both scenarios require you to give something up. The safety of what has been. The safety of the known, because where you are, whether it's the old level in your own business, or the one business and not choosing the other one, not making the shift. They both come with the safety and comfort of your status quo, the comfort and safety of the known. And yeah, giving that up is freaky as hell. I have been there for 2 years, and not many people are ready to do that. If you want more purpose, if you want to step into the next level of your calling and your purpose, this is required for you. It means to give something up. And it's not for the faint-of-hearted. And I know you are ready to do it. So if you find yourself in one of those two scenarios, I know you can do it and you're capable of it. And then you are today in the right spot here to go and go to your next level. And by the way, in the end, I will let you know about a very short program of mine, a new program I'm launching today on my birthday. And the early bird is for the coming week. It's a 10-day program. And it's exactly about that. It's about the next level, whatever that means for you, and helping you to shift into that. And I will give you more information later on. In this episode, I don't give you action steps or I don't tell you what the right choice for you is for your personal next level and calling. So you still have to work through that yourself. And you know me, I do the mindset stuff around it. So this is not the action step thing, like the what to do, what is first step, second step, third step, even though I do give you steps. However, I want to help you to be in the right mind space to make an aligned choice, an aligned decision, and then make a move on that decision. So what I want to help you today to figure out how to become more clear and how to create a mind space for that clarity. That means I have 3 steps for you today, or 3 states or stages for you to go through to create this clarity around your purpose and then act upon it. To summarize them, the first one is to embrace the space you are in of missing clarity or not knowing. I call this first step opening up. The second step is from that space of ease and acceptance, embracing where you are right now. From that place of ease and acceptance, do your favorite practice on creating clarity. So that's the actual creating clarity part. And then the third step is to move forward with aligned action. That's the action part. Okay, so let's start with number 1. Embrace the space you are in of missing clarity on not knowing. This is very important, and we very often want to just skip that. It is very, it is not a nice place to be in per se. I feel this yearning for something more and I don't know what it is. We want clarity. Clarity also creates safety, and not knowing is highly uncomfortable. And still you have to embrace that place, because if you go into resistance, you create more of the not clarity. Therefore, you have to step into acceptance of what is right now, that not knowing part. You have to give up resistance with where you are and with not knowing. And you have to let go of the pressure to need to know it now. Again, we humans, we are so focused on time. And there lies tremendous power in giving up this need of the time of knowing now, and instead expanding into this shows up whenever I'm ready. Whenever this is. So sit through the feelings, the very often uncomfortable feelings, surrender and expand into where you are. Basically, you have heard me say that often before, fall in love with where you are right now and accept however long it takes. And this, giving up resistance and going into expansion, like why is that so important? Because resistance does not create a good fundament for new expansive ideas. It is a very contracting, like an energy that contracts. It keeps you where you don't want to be through focusing on what you don't want. So you first need to open yourself up to whatever you want to call it, to your higher guidance, to a place where you don't want to force things anymore. Because when you want to force things, you probably know that the more you try to force things, the less they work. Sometimes if, for example, some technical stuff doesn't work and you sit there trying to make it work, and then you just surrender and let it be for a day and open up your computer the next day and it just works. Like you have no idea why it is working now. And this is what I mean. This just letting it go for a moment, stepping into a place of giving up surrender can bring you actually more, or can bring you to a place of more expansion. And then ideas just come out of nowhere. For example, if you have to choose which business you want to keep, like in my place, or in like what was my issue, the gallery business or my own coaching business, I had to relax into not knowing how long it took me. And I had to invite that knowingness whenever it was ready to come to me, invite those ideas. And those ideas didn't come to me through forcing it. And with the surrendering, you step into the energy of trust and trust that the right decision is coming to you. With that, you open yourself up and you connect with that space of higher power in you, with that power or that with the higher self that actually knows everything already. This is the way how to connect with that. Also, when you're in a place where you're looking for the next level in your own business and you're waiting for those new inspired ideas to come in and what is the next offer I want to bring out there? All my clients end up in that space of like, what is my next level in business? I have been there. What is the perfect next offer to bring out there? You first have to accept where you are and that you don't know right now. To soften yourself so that then you can actually hear when inspiration hits you. We have to become silent and soften ourselves to then hear when inspiration hits us, when those intuitive glimpses hit us, because very often they are not very loud and they come unexpectedly. And if you're not open to listen, you won't hear them. Like that intuition kicks in the middle of the night or in the shower or when you're really like busy with something else and you're enjoying yourself, you're doing some nice things. When you stopped forcing things, then intuition can kick in and you can actually hear it. And a new program is being written in an afternoon, or the new business idea is open and clear in front of you. So the first step, very important, because it changes your mind, it changes your intention, it changes the way of being. And it creates that space in you to become open and to listen when intuition hits you. The first one, embrace the space you are in of missing clarity and not knowing, giving up resistance. Then the next one is from that space of ease and acceptance, do your own practice of creating clarity, whatever that is for you. Whatever it is for you to get out of your head, into your body, do that. Listen to whatever shows up. It might be that you have to go into nature, that this is your favorite thing to do, to just take walks outside in nature, to clear your head, or to do more of what you love, like what turns you on throughout the day. Do more of that. Connect with your next level. What would that person do? You hear me talk about that all the time. What would that next level version of you do now? How would she do? What would she have? And perhaps go back and create a perfect day scenario. How would your perfect day look like on that next level without actually knowing what you're doing, what that next level is? Like you don't have the clarity yet, but how would you live when you had that clarity? How would you talk? How would you talk when you actually already had the clarity? And I have several questions for you to ask yourself. The first one, it's always a very lovely one, not the most comfortable one, is to ask yourself why you have chosen this place of indecision and not having clarity. Why are you actually there? Why don't you have clarity yet? There is a reason for it. There is a win in the situation you're in right now. Otherwise, you would have changed it already. It's sometimes very hard to understand for people. But whatever scenario you find yourself in, there is a reason for it. You are a vibrational match for that. And there is a win in the situation. Otherwise, you would have changed it. And you have to find what the win is in order to then change it and make your future version or the next level or the clarity or the person who has clarity a bigger win. Like that situation is more aligned or feeling more amazing than the one you are in right now. So what could that mean? You can ask yourself, what fears do you have to step into your next level? What could you actually lose? People, situations, material things, dreams, hopes. If you stepped into your next version, if you stepped into purpose and calling even more. What is your win that keeps you where you are right now? And really journal that out. Sit down and think about that. Sometimes it really blows your mind what we come up with when we actually answer that question. When we sit down, Become silent, become honest, and write out what is keeping me here. Why am I choosing to stay here? Because otherwise you wouldn't be there anymore. It might be that you would lose a circle of friends, like your friends. If you go, or the fear, it's not that this actually happens, but this is the scenario in your mind. Going to your next level. Whom would I lose? Wouldn't like my friends not be willing to spend time with me anymore if I'm more successful, if I am more purpose driven? Would I lose my partner? Does he not want to have that person on his side? Or does she not want to have a successful person on his side or her side? Would you perhaps lose a feeling of safety and comfort? Because where you are right now, you can complain and you can stay small and you have no one to criticize you. You are safe. You're seemingly safe. No one is bothering you. It's comfortable. You don't have to put in the work. You don't have to change things. And your win right now could be, as I said, staying safe, knowing everything. There is no unknown here because you have done this before. You know where you are. It could mean less work. You just keep doing what you're doing right now. You don't have to come up with new stuff. Less exhaustion. Keeping the people you have right now. Not losing people. Like those are all wins. And you have to become clear on that, because once you know that, for example, if your biggest fear is I'm losing my friends, if this is your biggest fear, then you can see what does it actually mean when I go to my next level, when I live my calling even more. And you can shift that belief and see perhaps the right people will stay with me. And if I stay small, just to keep friends, is this really what I want to live? And isn't there the potential to find even more amazing friends? Or does this not even help my friends or my circle of friends to level up as well? But it can also mean like very uncomfortable to be honest with yourself and say, I have outgrown some people. If they are not willing to rise with me, then I have to let go of people. And this can be deeply hurtful. However, you have to create clarity around that. You do not only have to build clarity around the question itself, what should I do? What is my next level? But clarity around the whole surrounding, because your next level comes with a totally new situation, with totally new circumstances. And the more clarity you have around that, the clarity around the thing itself, the next level purpose itself, will much more likely and much quicker show up. Because you can let go of those fears around losing people and staying safe and all of that. And then some more questions for you, or for you to take with you into the process, is follow the fear. What are you extremely fearful of? What would be extremely daring? Like, what is the one thing you have this feeling inside, this is the way to go, but it is freaking you out as hell? Or what do you feel too insignificant and not good enough to do? The question shows up, who am I to do that? Like, if you have this idea, I want to speak on big stages, I want to be on television, like I want to inspire millions of people, but who am I to do that? Yeah, that's a hint what your direction is going to be. What is it that kind of freaks you out and at the same time creates yearning in you? We don't want things that just freak you out, just like you don't have to do bungee jumping if it just freaks you out. But if there is excitement to it, if it is both this excitement and this yearning and this like, oh my goodness, can I really do that kind of energy? Then you know where to go. So really follow the fear. What is freaking you out? And then you will get a big answer of where you're headed, what your direction is. It very often, like in your biggest fears, lie your biggest potentials. And we have to teach what we ourselves have the most to learn. Those are two rules which always apply. What you have to learn for yourself, you are here to teach, because through that you actually learn it. And the other thing is follow the fear. What are you so freaking afraid of? There is your potential. And the other question is to follow joy and pleasure. No more frustration, but living your best life now. What would actually bring you that? If you follow joy and pleasure, what would that mean? What would you do? What activities would you indulge in? What thoughts would you have? What desires are coming up? So the one thing is follow the fear, and the other thing is follow joy and pleasure. It might sound contradictory in the beginning. No, they go together. Because also in following your fear lies the biggest acceleration. If you actually do that, if you go there, like this energy which is bound in fear right now, if this is being freed up, you end in a place of total acceleration and ecstasy and joy and pleasure. So follow that. What actually is it that brings you joy and pleasure? And you know what? Deep inside, you know what it is. You're just too fearful yet to step into that expanded version of yourself. And you keep telling yourself you don't know what it is. However, there is a part inside of you that actually knows what it is. And you have to follow the process of uncovering that more and more. And last but not least, for point number 2, if you want to include a more analytical process, you can check the pro and cons of different business opportunities. For me, for example, it was, shall I stay with what I have, the gallery business, or go into the next level 1, coaching? And a friend of mine was exactly at the same, or asking himself exactly the same question, choosing between 2 different businesses. So we had to ask ourselves, like I had to ask myself, he had to ask himself that, what are the pros and cons? Where is more potential? What could I possibly lose? And what could I win? Also financial wise. And this also works with the pros and cons for different next level versions of you and how to get there in your own business right now. Just a random question. Is speaking, like opening up a speaking business or going into a speaking business, more aligned with your purpose, or business automation? Or is one even leading to the other? Ask those questions, and while doing so, your body will give you hints. What is attractive and what creates resistance? What feels more aligned with you? And do the numbers. If you need that, do the numbers. If it is about money, what actually brings in more money? What will bring in more money in the long game? If it is just about pleasure and joy, which of those bring you more pleasure and joy? Like you really can go through that and answer those questions and then weigh one against the other. Which one has more potential in the end? Again, about the gallery business. I still love art. I loved selling art. It's amazing to sell something for 100,000 euros or just 1,000 euros. It's amazing if someone says yes for a beautiful piece of art and takes that with him or with her. And being with people who are interested in art, like all of that was amazing. And also being an art gallerist, like talking about that stuff and being that person, like being the leader in that field. And on the other side, what I didn't like about that business was, as an introvert, I still had to mingle with people all the time. Of course, you can create it in your own way. However, there was a lot of like also show off. There is kind of a way of being attached to it. There is still also a special way how women are being looked at. All of that, I wasn't okay with that. I didn't like that. I didn't like all those fancy parties and all of that stuff. However, in the art business, as a gallerist, you have to be an entertainer per se, like, or so to say. And I wasn't willing to go there. It didn't bring me joy. I loved more connections with people in smaller group settings or one-to-one. And art fairs, no, I knew, like after weighing the pros and cons, that was one point where I knew that is not for me. And it's heavy work as well. My coaching business, it is a lot of work internally. However, once you know what you do, it keeps growing. And there is potential to make a lot more money with my coaching business in order to, like, in the way of scaling it, than with a product-based business in the art market. For example, right now in COVID, you can see that people still invest in art, however, on a different level, because people keep their money together. So it needs more work to create the same amount of money than with the business I have chosen for myself now. And this is what I mean with the analytical process, to really sit down and weigh the pros and cons against each other and then make a decision based on that. What am I willing to give up? What am I willing to do? And what am I not willing to give up? And what am I not willing to do? Okay, so those were some questions on creating clarity. It needs time. You deep inside, you know what it is, and then the process itself, give it time, and then it will become clear to you. Expect clarity. Come from a place of, this is going to show itself to me, and then it will. And the last part then is to move forward with aligned action. You don't have to wait until clarity is all there. You start doing the aligned practices right now. You choose the new constantly every day with that what you already know. And it's a process of letting go of the old version of yourself. And it might include the time of mourning. It really might include that you have to let go of that old version of yourself, which has been part of your life for the past, 20 years. And this is a big step, it's not like I just choose a different business now. No, it means to let go of something else, of something old. It might mean to let go of dreams and hopes that will never come to fruition. For me, I will never have in that way, I chose to not follow the dream of being like a world-renowned art gallerist and having my fancy art gallery in New York or something. I chose a different version of myself, and that meant to let go, at least for some time, or for that special version of myself, which I chose against. And as I said, it is very important to do aligned action now, to not wait until more clarity kicks in. That what you know right now, do that. If that means to sit down to do this analytical process of pros and cons, you can do that now. That is action. Or if you know somehow you are interested in speaking, go and do some research. Reach out to people. You don't have to directly book gigs for yourself. Do the research. Get in contact with people. If you're not sure, if you do business automation or you offer, for example, in my case, the question was if I do business automation or like next level business automation or creating my own coaching certification. And that means I just move and I take action in getting clarity through seeing what other people offer, what coaching certifications are out there, what would interest me. So I don't have to have the full clarity yet, but I start engaging in that area that excites me. And if you're in the first step of like getting out of that space of not knowing and embracing that space of not knowing, this might mean do what you freaking love, do more of it. Go into nature every day. Go into a retreat. I'm going to Cyprus for 3 weeks just by myself for that retreat character to actually finally write my TEDx talk. So if that is calling you, you don't have full clarity yet, but you're called to take some time out for yourself. Go do that. Don't wait for clarity to show up, but do what leads you to clarity. And once you have more clarity, not full clarity, you follow that. You do those steps. And through those action steps, you'll figure out even more what you want and what it is. Basically, your inner work is translated into physical reality. For example, if you're not sure if you want to do PR, like your next level version or next level calling could be, and like purpose and calling could be to really bring your business, to bring your ideas to a wider audience. So that means to get someone to help you with PR. And you could do the first steps, reach out to people, talk to people, perhaps hire someone. And then figure out actually that is not the way to go. But still you had to go and do those steps to get clarity. This is not what I want. As I said with my example, the art gallery. I even did art fairs myself. And this showed me, okay, it's very fancy to think you're a super rich, wealthy, famous art gallerist. But this is actually hard work. I don't want it that way. But for that, I had to do it. So action steps, taking action brings you even more clarity because it shows you, once you do the physical activity, what you like and what you don't like. Or if it is about fancy business automation, creating some funnels and you figure out, actually, I hate that stuff. I just want to go and speak on stage. And then you do something different, but you have to go and figure out and do action to then get more clarity. Okay, my dear ones, I think that's enough for now. Let me quickly summarize the 3 steps I talked about today. And there is much more to say, so I will probably create even more podcast episodes on that. The first step was embrace the space you are in of missing clarity, of not knowing right now. The second step was, from that space of ease and acceptance, do your favorite practice on creating clarity. And the third one, move forward with aligned action. Inner work is always coupled with outer work, with action. I don't want you to sit around on the mountaintop and wait for clarity and intuition hitting you. It actually happens through physically engaging in some kind of activity. They go together. It was lovely talking to you today, and I told you I would give you a short overview about my new offer. Super excited. So the 24th of September is my birthday. That means today. And in my birthday week, the 24th to the 1st of October, I offer a discount of 500 euros for my new group intensive. This group intensive, this 10-day group intensive, is for people who are on the verge of the next level. So you know there is something to shift you into the next level. And you perhaps are missing that clarity, what it is or how to get there. And you're actually in a space right now where you don't need or want a long coaching process. So you don't want to get mentoring for 4 or 6 months. You want something short. And 10-day, like an intensive group container with amazing other entrepreneurs who are all going towards continuous 10, 20 or 30K months. So this is actually for established entrepreneurs. You want to mingle with those people. So it's for those people who are on that level already and want to mingle with like-minded souls, and they are wanting to go to the next level. They want to create those 10, 20, 30K months, and they want to create those. They want to create this level with ultimate ease and flow. And I have actually named this program Grounded Euphoria because I want you, it's the masculine and feminine principles of business. Euphoria, like this ecstasy, this very feminine, chaotic place, and this grounded place, this masculine trait of direction, of being grounded, of stability. We want to bring those together. So it will be a lovely 10-day process. You will have actually 2 workshop days with me or 2 sessions with me in a group. And you will have one-to-one access to me. You will be in a group setting, being able to chat with the others, being in exchange with the others. And actually, I just got a picture yesterday from 2 of my former clients of a mastermind I did 2 years ago, and they are still super close friends. So you might even create friendships and business partnerships or whatever for a lifetime. People in my groups tend to then get close with other people and really build amazing relationships and building amazing friendships. And yeah, if you're interested about that, if you're ready to go to the next level and you want a short, intensive container for that, amazing other people with you to support you, you're ready to increase your income and you're ready to increase ease and flow and happiness and joy in the process. So this is not for the hustlers. This is for the hustlers actually who want to shift into ease and flow. Then you're in the right place because I have been there. That's me. I have been a crazy hustler and I have created a life of pleasure and joy and ease. And if you're willing to do that, reach out to me, send me a message. The link is in the show notes. Did you like this podcast episode? Then I would be super, super grateful if you gave me a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. And please subscribe to the podcast and share it with people who you know can benefit from it. That is always extremely helpful. You can find all links to my social media profiles, my website, and contact form in the show notes. And when you're interested in my new offer, which will take place in the second half of November, the 10-day group coaching program, then reach out to me. If you have questions about if this is a right fit for you, if you want to know about pricing, be aware there is a €500 discount right now from the 24th of September to the 1st of October. If you're interested in finding out more, send me a message via the link on my show notes. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode, much love to you, Lydia.